Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, friends on a Friday, maybe a couple foes uh, are hanging around. This is Friday, sometimes called Black Friday. Do any of you really know why they call it Black Friday? It actually is a marketing term, and I would be interested if any of you really know what it means. I do know. In fact, I learned many, many, many years ago when a gentleman who was mentoring me in the retail business told me why we called it Black Friday. And so it's a retailing expression, which you might think, obviously, people are trying to sell you things with many sales. But why do they call it black? Because black usually is something bad. And they're trying to do something good, try to get people out and shop and have fun and make money for the company and enjoy good times and make it a day. It's also, I think, one of the days where I say Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays, but not just because it is about giving thanks, but it does turn into not just a day, but it can be a full weekend, you know. Then Friday is kind of a day to relax, maybe connect a little bit with family and friends, enjoy yourself. Get a little rest and relaxation, go to church, worship at your place of worship, meet more with family and friends, hopefully have some safety in travels, but it becomes a kind of a nice 4 day weekend. So it's Black Friday. I think it's really Good Friday. It's where you can actually do some good things by thinking about how you are going to live better and be more helpful and useful to others. How you can do that. That got me into a conversation with my friend Tim, who is a mentor and an investor in me and some of the things I do. But since he's very much involved in that, I said, you know, you've heard the expression, what does it mean to leave money on the table? Now, many people have heard that. Oh, you're leaving money on the table. I said, do you know exactly where that term came from? And he confessed that, of course, he'd heard it. And of course, he and I have used it in some of our conversations about marketing and selling. So I decided to go to the fountain of knowledge called artificial intelligence. Now, by the way, I don't call it AI. I call it 4A information, not artificial intelligence, but there's 4A's, and none of them use the word artificial, but I'll do that in a later presentation, which is very important. It is 4A's, and it's not intelligence, it's information, 4A information. But I went to that source, and I have my robot who I call Stosh, and another one which I call Captain Copilot. We are connecting, calls me Stan. And I just said, where did the phrase, now here, by the way, I'm doing something I really shouldn't do very much, so you'll see me looking down at my notes, but they aren't in the way. Here we go. Where did the phrase leaving money on the table come from? And what does it really mean? Well, here's what the robot said. The most widely accepted origin of the phrase comes from classic poker and gambling. Now, I thought that means in poker, if a player misreads the situation, folds too early, or fails to take advantage of a winning hand, they literally they walk away, leaving chips behind. Money left sitting there on the table that could have been theirs. Um, so the vivid image moved easily from there into the worlds of business, then negotiations, sales, and marketing. Now, this is true because I'm dealing now with 4 or 5 businesses who are doing that. They're leaving money on the table. They're not doing something I think could make them money. And so I'm going to try and talk to them about that. But here's what the robot said. Today, in business language, leaving money on the table means you could have earned more, but didn't because of. underpricing. You should have charged more. Not asking for the sale. Yeah, okay. Now, what I'm telling many of my friends and clients is right now they call it selling, but all they're doing is offering. They're making an offer. They're offering something for sale, but they're not selling. Okay. Failing to present the full offer. That could be stopping a negotiation too soon. Maybe walking away too soon. Not following up. Now, that's so true. Not offering upgrades or bundles or next steps. That could be leaving money on the table. Um, or in my language, because my robot had heard me say this before, as many of you know, I'm teaching that right now we are in the performance economy. The performance economy. And since my little robot knows that, he said this. This happens when the presenter, the marketer, or the coach does not fully step into the opportunity to serve, guide, and offer the complete solution. Uh, uh, you gave a bad performance or an incomplete performance, or you didn't perform at all. Remember, you have to perform today. You have to put on a show. You all have to have microphone wisdom. You need to know how to be behind a microphone. Now, here are some examples it says. In coaching, you solve a problem for a client, but never offer an ongoing package or follow-up plan. Okay, I've done that. Podcasting and media, that's for sure. A listener is excited, but there's no invitation to the next video, the coaching call, or membership. What about in negotiation? You inspire people, but never ask for the appointment or the email or sale. Now, why the phrase still matters. Here we go. Leaving money on the table isn't really about dollars. It's about leaving impact on the table, influence on the table, transformation on the table. Now, my friend Joe Pine will agree with that. Service on the table. The money is just the measurement, not the meaning. And then, because I asked, it decided to make a Thanksgiving reflection. This is what is very unique about some of the creative work that the artificial intelligence, or what I call 4A information, can do. Show up fully, fully alive. That's one of ours. Be fully alive. Offer fully. Serve fully. Ask boldly. When we do that, the value flows back in many forms. Sometimes as money, sometimes as blessings, and sometimes as relationships. Well, what do you think about that? Now, then it went on to say, Stan, I could turn that into a radio talk for you. And it did. But I just kind of left that on the table because I thought maybe I could do it myself. And I can. There we go. It's Friday is future day. Think about the future. Friday is the day where we do a little TWiT Talks, short, sharp, with a little touch of reality and a little speck of humor and, twisting the twit a bit. But it's not about a TED Talk, which used to be transformation. No, it was technology, entertainment, and design. And that's good. That's where it began about 25, 30 years ago. But now the modern day is to join Stan and his team in TWiT Talks, which is transformation, wisdom, insight, and truth. And I hope this has been a little bit of a trip and a twit for you. Please reach out to me because me and my team, which is going and growing, is in the business through Do It Right, this new coaching collective we're putting together. Obviously, through What It Takes Radio, if you're very much in the communication and video business, which you have to be, or it could be in those of you who are people of faith like me, who speak into that part of your life, what we call how to be a Jesus broadcaster. If he's your man, learn how to give the good words about the man as a Jesus broadcaster. All of that might be of interest to you as we try to pick up more sticks in 26. Make a little more money, certainly have a lot more fun, perhaps make Jesus smile, and perhaps in some ways find ways to help make the world just a little bit better because you have been blessed. You're still around. And thank you for doing that. And thank you for being part of What It Takes Radio. Do it right. TWiT Talks, and whatever else we happen to come up with. uh, I'll tell you what it is. As I say, inconvenient ideas is now being raised into a major conversation platform. We've kind of messed around with it, but now it is more and more who we are and what we will talk about. Interesting ideas, sure, inspiring ideas, intellectual ideas, but perhaps more inconvenient ideas because it acknowledges that some of the things you thought you knew might be wrong. Best and blessings. May your Thanksgiving extend well beyond the weekend, and may good things come to you because you do. Till next time, I'm Stan, the Radio Man. Bye for now.